We called it the Deshka smartphone, and our hope was that it becomes the preferred smartphone choice for most customers looking to buy their first smartphone or upgrading to a smartphone. It actually lived up to its billing. We realized that it was the first choice for a lot of customers, and we've got more than 1 million testimonials on Flipkart. And if you look at it, it's perhaps one of the few products, probably the only product outside of Redmi Note 4 to get more than 1 million ratings on Flipkart. We've got millions of testimonials, most of them overwhelmingly positive, most of them indicating that this is the best experience that we could get on a phone at that segment. So it's been so successful that it remains the top selling phone even 9 months after launch, and just in Q2 alone we have shipped more than 3 million units to be the number one smartphone in Q2. The Redmi 5A was also one of the most popular smartphones across the world. It was the best-selling Android phone globally in Q1 of this year. So now today we're launching the successor to Redmi 5A, and we're calling it the Desh Ka Naya smartphone. So with Redmi 6A, we're trying to give all-round upgrades, cutting across design, performance, and camera. So let's get started with the design. So the Redmi 6A gets a bump up in design. It comes with a 5.45-inch 18:9 full-screen display with an HD Plus resolution. It also comes with, because of its 18:9 display, within the similar footprint as that of a 5A, we're able to squeeze in a 0.45-inch extra space into the screen, which also means that the screen to body ratio on 6A is 10% higher than what we had on Redmi 5A. So the Redmi 6A continues with the same brush metallic finish that everyone loved in Redmi 5A. It also comes with a more pronounced arc design, which means that when you hold the phone in your hands, you get a good grip. It also means that it feels a lot slimmer than it actually is. So the Redmi 6A comes in 4 colors, black, gold, rose gold, and blue, which is my favorite color and which is the favorite for a lot of people out here. Now moving to performance, this is where we've tried to put in the most amount of effort, trying to better the experience that the customer gets. So for the first time ever, the Redmi 6A comes with a 12nm FinFET processor, which is the Helio A22. It is also a processor that allows you to go up to clock speeds of 2 GHz. So a lot of you might be thinking, why is 12nm a big deal? How does it really impact the user experience? Long story short, we'd spoken about it at length last year when we had first introduced the 14nm processor in one of our devices, which is Redmi Note 4. With 12nm FinFET, what it means is it refers to the size of the transistors in the processor. The smaller the size, the more transistors that can be packed into it, and the less energy that they consume, which means that as an end customer you get better battery performance, better thermal performance, and much better overall CPU performance with a 12nm chip. In a whole bunch of parameters. So the 4G talk time increases by about 41%, video playback goes longer by about 34%, and you see increments in music playback, gaming, and standby as well. So this is what it means is when you actually hold the device, you will get a performance that you would not be used to in this kind of a segment. So the Helio A22 on Redmi 6A, the SoC performance is 33% better than that on Redmi 5A. While running at the same speed, the power consumption Redmi 6A powered by Helio A22 is actually 48% lower. So more powerful than before, faster than ever. To summarize, Redmi 6A comes with an Helio A22 processor, which goes 2 GHz. It comes with a 12nm FinFET tech, so it's a lot more efficient compared to Redmi 5A. Now moving on from performance, the next area where we've added to Redmi 5A is boom. So the phone comes with AI face unlock. It also comes with other options like unlock with your Mi Band or unlock in a trusted environment using a smart unlock feature. This is one of the features that we were most appreciated for in Redmi 5A. When we introduced, for the first time ever in our Redmi phones, we introduced a 2+1. It was very appreciated, and we want to continue with that story out here. So the Redmi 6A comes with a dedicated micro SD slot, which means that you can use both of your SIMs and use a micro SD card to store all your movies. This is historically, all the phones in the market, if you're using, let's assume, you had two SIM cards, one Geo and one non-Geo, and you start using 4G LTE on your non-Geo SIM, the network on your Geo SIM vanishes. But with dual VoLTE, dual stand, we're trying to bring that down to even the Redmi 6A series. So the Redmi 5A comes with a 5 megapixel selfie camera, which has got bumped up with an AI portrait mode and AI beautify mode. So this is based on our AI-based semantic segmentation. This is something that we've talked about at length, but now what we're trying to do short, as you can see, despite the lack of a secondary sensor for depth information, based on the AI algorithm. We also have AI Beautify 4.0, which means that it's able to identify different skin tones, different skin types, and based on that, beautify as if you put on a makeup. So it's effectively doing a makeup without doing a makeup. When you are there, you can see that the beautify is just restricted to the face and not just sort of going around the whole picture. So that's Redmi 6A, Desh ka naya smartphone. Big upgrades across the board. 18:9 full screen display with a 5.45-inch display, a 12 nanometer processor with standby. So that's next.
Media colleague, you are familiar with this series, but we've changed quite a lot of things. Redmi 6 gets dual camera and high performance for everyone. This one will talk about design to start with. So with the Redmi 6, what we have is a 18:9 full screen display and a metallic finish and improved overall arc design. So this one is further kind of curved, perfectly kind of contours to fit into your palm, gives you a better hand feel, better grip, and overall a better usage experience, especially when you're holding that phone and trying to use it with one hand. Now the Redmi 6 will come in 4 amazing colors. You've got the classic black, you've got gold, the fan favorite blue, and rose gold. All of them look absolutely amazing, and I'll just wait a minute for you to take those pictures. So great looking devices, but looks is one part, and we just spoke about the fact that we're trying to get dual camera for everyone. So let's talk about the cameras, right? And before I get into the camera on the Redmi 6, let's look at the cameras that competition has in the 10 to 12,000 kind of a segment. So we've taken some of the leading devices that are there in the 10 to 12,000. Of course, the leading devices are all from Xiaomi, but beyond that. So most of the devices that you see are one single camera devices. Second, the pixel size is limited to about 1.12 micron. And even as Raghu was saying, dynamic image stabilization for video capture is limited. There's a 12 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel of image, right? It improves this 1.2 micron. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures. So look at this one. This is a very interesting one where you can see how good the dynamic range is. Details on the building behind that, while retaining everything else in the foreground. So you can clearly see the table, the details on the table, and what I really liked was the fact that it's not missed out details like the photo frame in the back, which normally most of the competitive devices in this price band would miss out on. But then this does have a 1.25 micron pixel camera sensor, so definitely you get better low light as well. So this is a beautiful shot. I guess some of you would have seen this. This is the Olympic Stadium in Beijing, the Bird's Nest Stadium. What you get background is also at variable distance, and you've got different backgrounds coming in. But with a larger pixel, with almost kind of merging into the blue van at the back, none of the details are lost, and the background is a little hard to kind of capture. Again, what you see is perfect edge detection. The subject is sharp, focused. If you look at the t-shirt, all the t-shirt details are also kept in, even towards the edges. So from a portrait perspective, this will give you really great images every time. And what we've seen is over the last few quarters, the use of video by our Mi fans going up, people taking smaller videos and sharing that a lot more. So we had to bring on to performance. Now that's the next part of it. Redmi series has always stood for performance beyond what the competition offers. So we've made sure that the Redmi 6 performs fast, even under heavy conditions. People are using a lot more apps, a lot more multitasking. And while we're doing all of this performance side, it should not sacrifice on the battery life. Now how do we do this? Is starting at the heart, which is the SoC itself. Now looking at a comparison here, and looking at what competitive devices have, again in the same price band of about 10 to 12,000 rupees, you have most of the devices are still at 28 nanometer. A few of them have moved on to a 14 nanometer node. Some of them are still actually having quad-core devices, and there are a couple of octa-cores that you see. Clock speeds normally limited to about 1.8 gigahertz. So that's what you normally would get for this price. But for Redmi 6, we knew we could do better, and of course our Mi fans demanded that we do a lot better. So this one comes with a 12 nanometer octa-core processor, clocked up to 2 gigahertz. We just touched upon the significance of having a 12 nanometer processor, but I'll again kind of cover that part up. What you get is better power efficiency. That means on the same battery size you are able to go further, better thermal performance because of the smaller nodes, and overall improvements in performance versus the older technologies. What we try and do and provide the best possible products to our fans at the most honest pricing. Talking a bit more before we get into this, why is the P22 a great chip? One, yes, it is an octa-core. Second, it is a 12 nanometer process, but it's got 4 cores towards 4 performance cores, which are for task intensive applications, and there are 4 battery efficient cores at about 1.5 gigahertz, all of them based on the Cortex A53 architecture. But with intelligent task allocation, it can actually jump between these. So you can have the bigger cores coming in, smaller cores coming in, or a combination of this depending on what you're doing with this device. So it's not really limited to just one part. But all of this kind of combines together to give us a performance bump. So we've been systematically improving the performance on the Redmi series, and this one we see a 30% improvement, and along with that we also see a power consumption going down of almost up to 48% compared to say a 28 nanometer processor. So to sum it up, the chipset that we have here is the P22, 12 nanometer FinFET technology, extremely power efficient, good on thermals and high performance. It's an octa-core processor, the only one that is on 12 nanometer. You've got clock speeds going up to 2 gigahertz, as well as intelligent task allocation to be able to manage your multitasking and your day-to-day performance even better. So where does it fit in? Nobody else actually has a 12 nanometer, and this is also the best in terms of performance and clock speed amongst all competition. And because of the efficiency, the Redmi 6 has a 3000 mAh all-day battery, providing you almost 23 hours of music playback, or 6 hours of full HD recording, 12 hours of video playback. So it gets you through your day without any stutters, without dying out on you. From an improvement perspective from the Redmi 5, what you see is the call time improvement of almost about 11%, while multimedia, which is music and video, improvements of almost about 20%. So overall efficiency as well as power has been the focus here. With Redmi 6, you also get AI face unlock as well as a fingerprint reader. And that's not all. Because security is becoming increasingly important, you also have multiple options. So fingerprint unlock, AI face unlock, you can unlock with the Mi Band or all the other smart unlock options on the device. So for example, your home Wi-Fi network or a particular location, you can choose to have the device unlock. It's a trusted location. Again, this is extremely important to our fans, and we've also kept it. It's a 2+1 card slot. So it's dual nano SIM and expandable storage up to 256 gigs. That means you don't really have to compromise whether you want a dual SIM device or single SIM with expandable storage. Enough storage to carry all your music, videos, photographs, whatever you want to carry with you. And Redmi 6 also comes with dual VoLTE, dual standby. Raghu did mention why you need this. I'll reiterate that part. HD calling on either SIM, so you don't have to choose which SIM you have, and you can select which SIM you want the data on. So even if your primary VoLTE calling SIM is the one that you don't want to use the data, the other one could be actually pulling in this, and hence overall you get more reliable coverage. You're not switching between SIMs in case the data speeds goes down for a particular region, or say you're out of particular city limits. See look and some more angles. So of course Xiaomi quality, but you've got black, you've got other colors coming in. This is the gold, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. The fan favorite, blue, and we will have this as well. Again, this is a unique color, and something that our fans were asking for. So for the first time on the Redmi series, we would also have this amazing red. So 4 colors, the black, gold, blue, and now red coming into the Redmi 6 Pro. So just to kind of capture this, obviously the device looks great, but I think there's a really cool video that we'd like to kind of show you to see a bit more of how the device is. We do know, shot on the Redmi from Xiaomi, so you've got the AI semantic section. Of course, a couple of more snaps, reflection, something dual camera, great looking shot, as well as you've got this amazing bokeh. But what happens when, quite a bit, I absolutely love AI to the performance part of it. Even today, competition, the Redmi 6 is it also features all the security, expandable